Hello and welcome to the Small YouTuber Show. I'm your host, Mr. Johnny25, and on this show, we are all about growing our channels in the right way by gaining our master's degree. And if you are watching the replay, many thanks to you. I hope the things that we talk about in the show tonight will be able to help you on your individual YouTube journey. Hello and greetings to every single one of you in the house. I'll quickly go through the list because let's face it, I've not been here for 2 whole weeks. I have been away for 2 weeks and I am back with a bang. And yes, we have an absolutely amazing content creator in the house today in the form of Chuba Chat. Yes, we have Kaye in the building with us today. He's just winding down his live stream and I believe we are going to get a raid. I think we're going to get quite a superhuman raid from the Chuba Chat crew. Anyway, hello to you, Taylor Rochester, Aranda. Hello again also to you, the amazing Christiana Flourishing. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Mark Fraser, good evening to you. Welcome. Hello, Bright Creations. How are you doing? I hope that you are doing well. And the Travel Hacking Life is in the building as well. And I can see Philly Girl, who is a regular in Chuba Chat, has come over to us here today. So thank you so much for being in our small YouTuber show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here today. And the Authentic Lynn, may I humbly apologize that I missed your premiere, but I did shout you out. I did share your content, but alas, I was not able to hang out in the premiere, but I will be watching it later because if you didn't know already, guys, the Authentic Lynn is the place to be for all things tutorials when it comes to making meals. Wow. Go over to the Authentic Lynn's channel and check out the content. Christelle Renee, greetings to you. How are you doing? It's me, Wasden. Yes, honey. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here and raiding me today. I appreciate the raid. Yes, Chuba Chat is in the building. Black Brand Friday, greetings to you as well. Sofa King, Manly Gaming. Hello. Lift and eat. Yes, lift and eat. Power. Yes, there's a lot of power in that name. Thank you so much for being here. Christian Nomad. Yes, welcome to you as well. Unmasked Lifestyle. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for coming over from Chuba Chat. We are so pleased to see you. And Social Couplepreneur, who I well know the Social Couplepreneur. Hello to you guys. Welcome to the stream. But you're coming here via Chuba Chat today. But I really do appreciate that. So thank you so much. PA as well. Puppet Short Films. Welcome to you. Jaden Sir 28. Hello. It's Fifi 777. Yes. Fifi 777, greetings to you. Jaden Sir 28. Again, I've read that twice. I've read it twice because it's so nice. Just living life. Hey, welcome. My goodness gracious me, guys. Thank you so much for coming here and hanging out with me today on the show. Hust Works as well. Wow, this is going to be absolutely awesome. We have an amazing content creator going to be joining me today, and I know in his live stream he said it's going to be like a conversation. Don't worry, I'm looking forward to you guys throwing some questions at him because I've got my own questions. I've got plenty of questions that I want to be throwing his way, and I'm hoping that you guys will have some awesome questions as well for the man that is Kevin Kaye. So hello to you, Thrifty Angela, welcome. How are you doing? I hope that you are keeping well. I know Puppet Short Film said he's at work. Well, do you know what? Thank you so much. Leave me running. We could always do with the hours. But what I'm saying to you, thank you so much to every single one of you. And to Mrs. Morrison, welcome to the stream. For those of you that don't know, Mrs. Morrison is my other half, my significant other, my ball and chain. No, my beautiful wife. She is my beautiful wife, and she's here supporting me as well. And Sofa King Manly Gaming. Hey, Johnny, looking sharp. Well, thank you so much. I try my very best to appear professional. I do try my best to, look the part when it comes to my show. And Kira Welton, welcome to you. I believe this is the first time that you are here in the house. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And yes, I believe I will be having your BFF on the screen with me today. Yes, I will be. And Kristen Welton, how are you doing? Greetings to you. This is amazing. I'm looking at some amazing people in the building. House of X Entertainment. Greetings. Just vlogging life. Hello. I've said hello to so many people today. This is absolutely amazing. This is thank you so much, Aranza. Yes, I do try my best to look the part. And obviously, I am going to be having a very distinguished fellow on the screen with me today. So I felt that I should definitely do my best and look the part. So doing great. I'm so glad I can make it today. Kids had an unexpected day off. I could have interviewed you. Oh my goodness, if you'd let me know, Nat Thrifty Angela, I could have interviewed you, pre-recorded it, and we could have had that as a live show. Yes, so thank you so much, guys. We have got, as I said, we've got an amazing content creator coming in the building. I know he's winding down his live stream, and we are going to be having some real good conversations today. RNA Legacy, my people still, I'm so glad to see my people in here as well. Thank you so much, RNA Legacy. Welcome to the stream. Zara Gluten Free, how are you doing? How's life? Tell me, share with me, tell me what's been going on in your world. Guys, we are the Small YouTuber Show here. We, as you can clearly see, just on the ticker, just down below, we don't condone or promote sub for sub. Please refrain from, please refrain from using spam words or excessive numbers or emojis. I have no issue whatsoever with you dropping numbers, but please just do it within reason, because obviously we do not want the algorithm bots to think that we are a spamming channel when we are not. We are a channel of growth, knowledge, education, learning, and having fun as well. And I hope that you don't mind listening to my dulcet tones as we speak today. So yes, and Mr. and Mrs. Anna Barlow, welcome to the stream. Wow, you guys take amazing photos. I don't know if you remember my comment on Instagram earlier today. The passion of that photo between you and your loved one was absolutely amazing. You take great pictures. Shav King, new hair, greetings to you. I think I'll bung you on my screen to say hello. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me today. So yes, I do have an amazing guest with me today. But as I always, I always do this. I always love doing a great introduction. So I'm gonna get my introductions ready right now. I think we're about that time now where obviously, as a professional, I think it's only fair that I do my introduction. So let me start with I've written this out. You can see that I'm going by my notes here, so I'm gonna read it out as professionally as I can. So on the show today, we have the pleasure of having Kevin Kaye on the show. He is the brains behind Chuba Chats. Now, if you don't know him or if you don't know his channel, obviously there's quite a few of you in here that do know him, but for those of you that don't know him, he is the brains behind Chuba Chat. Definitely, I 100% definitely recommend that you go over to his channel and connect with him if you really want to seriously grow, not just in subscriber numbers, but also in knowledge and how to navigate your channel. Now, as I've said, I'm going to be doing a quick introduction of him. Kevin is a mobile app developer, radio DJ, video producer, and social media enthusiast. Since its creation on YouTube in February 2020, Chuba Chats has grown into a show that has educated hundreds, and I believe probably thousands of people on how to navigate the algorithm, analytics, and obviously how to grow your channel. Like my channel, Chuba Chats does not support sub for sub. If you are unfortunate enough to write sub for sub on his Instagram, that's a bad thing. You can see the messages that come back. It is a bad idea. So Kevin lives in the beautiful part of the world of Niagara Falls. I've been there, beautiful place in Canada, with his girlfriend, Kristen, who I might add has also become monetized today. So a big shout out and a big congratulations to you on your monetization. So guys, he is from Canada. So whatever you do, don't say, "Are you American?" Because he is not. He is from Canada. So let me quickly add him to the screen. The Small YouTuber Show welcomes you, sir.
And thank you very much. It's a pleasure to even be with you. So thanks very much, Johnny 25. Forgive me
for background. I absolutely love your background. Your background is amazing.
I threw that together like 1 second ago, of course, as you can imagine.
Oh, well, I can tell you now. It's bringing back memories of the lovely Niagara Falls. I've been there 3 times. I have some family over there, and I have visited. But I did actually have a bad experience. I went on the Maid of the Mist, I believe it's called. My phone got like when you get like a mist basically fluid came into the screen and it ruined my phone and I couldn't use it again. I got water damage from the Maid on the Mist. And then when I got off the boat, I walked up to the top. I got stung on the neck by a hornet. Yes, by a hornet.
Wow.
Yes, this was not a
Forgive me for laughing. We don't wish that on anybody, but
this was
hopefully the next time you're there, we'll have a better time.
Yes, this was not a good experience. So there's lots of people here that obviously you've been hanging out with in your show, and some obviously that are loving supporters of the Small YouTuber Show here as well. So if you want to quickly say hello to some of your wonderful guests.
Yeah, thank you everybody for coming over. Thrifty Angela, great to see you over here. We do have a lot of people in our communities that cross over, and thankfully for that. I know that Mr. Johnny 25 is a very much loved and well-respected member of the community, and somebody that there's much to be learned from. And I was just actually saying a little while ago that, we've probably known about each other for a while, but this is the first time that we're collaborating, and now we're connected. But thank you so much to those of you who came over from Tuber Chat. The Hoops Family Network is here. They're inspirational. Amanda from the Hoops Family Network in the creation of Tuber Chat. She's the one who individually, more than anybody else, introduced me to the small YouTuber community 8 or 9 months ago. And MSK Family Vlogs is here. Mr. and Mrs. Anabalo. It's Fifi777. PA, my PA is a wonderful, now is a moderator for Tuber Chat, and I take moderators seriously. You've been there. You see we have like almost no moderators. But PA is somebody who's an unbelievable supporter everywhere that I go in all the channels that I handle, or most of them anyway. And so I'm glad to see him here. Christian Nomad is over here. Crystal Renee, Coach Sherry, Kira Welton, my BFF forever, as I heard you mention.
Yes, I did.
Bright Creations is here. Mike the Creator. And forgive me for anybody that I'm missing because the list is so long, and I appreciate it.
Good. We are so grateful that everyone has come over here. So just a quick note to the audience. This obviously is a audience participation show. So if you have any questions, please write at and either my name or are you in the I believe you are you inside the chat to be able to
It's best if everybody directs it to you, but because Super Chat's name is way too long for anybody on a phone.
I know it's frustrating. If you miss that dash between the if after Tuber Chat, you end up getting it wrong. And I myself have made that mistake of just going at Tuber Chat, not realizing there is connect and grow, I believe, in the whole name. Right. So guys, if you would then direct the questions to me at Mr. Johnny 25, all one word. Don't take the number out of my name. My name is recognized by the algorithm, and I have no issues with numbers in my chat. So, and obviously, if I overlook a question, guys, please apologize. I apologize. Write it again. Make sure you put at so I see it. It will come up nice and bright and orange on my screen, and I'll be able to shout it out. So obviously, as I said, we do have in the building today Kevin from Tuber Chats, and we are going to be grilling him with lots of questions. We are going to be getting inside the mind of Kevin Kaye. I must apologize for calling you Michael earlier on in the week. That is purely because of my guest that I have. I mixed up my 2 guests, which was I was honestly I was mortified. So I can only apologize for that. But anyway, guys, we are I'm very grateful that you have come and are hanging out with me today. And guys, for anyone that is walking through the door now, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate every single one of you. So, as I am the host, I'm going to ask the first question, and then after that, I'm going to open it up to the floor. I have obviously I've got some questions myself that I would like to ask you, but obviously I will ask the first question and we will just go from there. How does that sound? Is that okay?
Perfect. Yep. Thank you.
Superb. Right. So let me start. The last 3 weeks have been the strangest that I've personally seen on YouTube. And I've been on YouTube for 14 years. Subscriber counts have gone down. Hours have been lost or frozen. What is your take on the whole situation, and what research have you done?
So I've been watching. For those of you who don't already know, not that it matters, but just so you know, I'm a professional channel manager. That's how I got my start on YouTube 4 years ago. I run other channels for other people that are doing much better than even my own. I have millions of views, thousands of subscribers, and all that good stuff. Now, some of those channels are not being affected the same way. And I wonder if the reason why is because we are in what we call the small YouTuber community. We only use that term because it's so popular. If we made channels that were called Content Creator Network, nobody would show up. So we call it the small YouTuber community. However, when I look particularly at Tuber Chat and my own, it seems that maybe for you longer, 2 weeks ago, I had a big dip, and Tuber Chat itself lost 15 plus whatever it gained that day. And my personal channel lost 10 plus whatever it gained that day. Since then, there's been tiny peaks and valleys where it seems that we're losing almost as much as we're gaining every day and more. And it hasn't stopped. So in the last 2 days, it seems that the numbers have started going up again, but we won't know until we sleep and get up tomorrow morning and see what's happened. Kristen Walton is just telling me that on the other channel she's running now, she runs a charitable organization. She's managing that channel and just started building it. She said she got 30 subscribers today. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. And if everybody wants to connect with us and ask, we'll be happy to tell everybody what happens and, whether it's affecting us the same. But I go right into the analytics on Tuber Chat. I showed everybody the analytics today to show those graphs of the ups and downs. But it seems to be a combination of, first of all, a major purge. And we saw this a few months ago. I did a live stream on my personal channel just a few months ago about this exact thing. We've seen it before. We'll see it again, unfortunately. But this seems to be the worst because of the glitching that's going on afterward. I was lucky enough to catch a creator called Christian Nomad. I think he was in here for a second there. He might be in here. And in his live stream, he was talking about it and pointing out that it's not just a purge, but it seems to also be a glitch. And he's doing his own experimenting, being very deliberate about trying to monitor these numbers and see what's going on. But it's just a lot of people. We're talking about it all day, every day. For me, it's 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
What are you finding?
So pretty much the exact same thing. Frozen hours. My analytics was pretty much frozen for the last 2 weeks. I've noticed people are connecting to me, but my numbers were not changing. Pretty much the same sort of thing as everybody else. There was obviously I actually spoke with RNA Legacy Ray earlier on today, and I said that I actually thought that it may well be that YouTube have actually created a bot or an actual algorithm that hunts down the immediate connection. So, I've said obviously I've made videos on it where I've said I personally believe that connections now shouldn't be done straight away. If you connect with someone, write their name down, go back to them in 2 or 3 days, because I think that when it's quite specific, the people that are losing numbers. And you mentioned it earlier. You said that some of the bigger channels are not experiencing the losses that we are experiencing because of the world that we're in. We're a very small community, and we're trying to grow. We're trying to do our very best to get, if we're below 1,000 subscribers, we're trying to get to 1,000. And obviously once we've done that, we want to get our hours up. And I felt like, could this be a targeted attack? Could YouTube have created a bot specifically designed just to hunt down? I mean, obviously, this is just my opinion. I've not done any research on this, but it's just something I thought about. That I thought, well, it seems very strange that the small obviously for the best part of a year, the human reviewers have been at home. They've not been able to work because of the pandemic.
That's true.
So a lot of bad practice has happened over the last 6 months. So there's a lot of things that we've seen that you would not have got away with a year ago. Just would not have got away with it. It would have been shut down immediately. And I feel like we got a little bit slack, and we maybe thought, oh, we can get away with this now. And I think YouTube have come down on us and said, no, we're not doing that anymore. And so targeted. Obviously, this is just my opinion. If anyone else would, care to do some research on that, I would be really grateful. But I just felt like, could it well be that we are they've now said enough is enough. Remember, this is we can get a lot of money if we do it right. And they're going to pay us a lot of money if we do things the correct way. If we actually do things right, we can go on YouTube for free and they pay us to do it. So at the end of the day, if we are meant to do things the right way, then we are meant to do it the right way. A lot of people are doing it the wrong way. And I think YouTube have had enough. But that's just obviously my own personal opinion. By all means, guys, if you think I'm completely wrong, then shout me down. But obviously, I'm mindful that I'm waffling. I do this a lot, and I'm really sorry, Kevin. I do talk too much. There's a question on the screen where it says, when starting a channel, what would you say is the top 3 tips of getting started successfully? And that is for you to answer.
Oh, for me? Okay.
Oh, 100%. These questions are for you. You are under the spotlight, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I should. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'd love your opinion on all this stuff too, because I preach all day in Tuber Chat that I learn from creators of all sizes every single day. As much as I love this stuff, I love to learn as much as I love to talk, same as you do, right? But when starting a channel, first 3 things. So first of all, I guess would be you want to get to a place where you're putting out 1 piece of quality content per week as a minimum, as fast as you can. Now, if that takes a while, that's up to you. You have to do what you have to do. We all have lives and everything else. But when you can get there, that's the number 1. And then 3 tips to get started successfully. You want to be supporting other creators. That I would have to put, and this is just on the spot. This is off the top of my head. But if you're out there supporting other creators, you will find it coming back to you. I promise you. And, I preach this all the time too. If you're willing to give much more than you expect to receive, if you want 10 comments on your video, then you go out, put 20 or 30 on other people's other people's content. If you want likes, you go and you give much more likes. It will come back to you, and I promise there will be a day where you're getting more than you're giving, but that would be the second thing. Supporting people, truly supporting, truly caring about other people's success and their content will help. And then a third, do you want to help me out, Mr. Johnny? Do you want to help me out and give the third? I'm curious about your opinion, because I'm grasping at straws here. There's so many things that are important. Actually, okay, forgive me. I do want to know what you're going to say, but this is what I'll say. Read your analytics. Yes. I know not everybody is a nerd and a geek like I am and loves numbers and staring at graphs and charts and all that. I like it, and I get that not everybody does, but you must look, because over time, even if you don't understand right away, you will start to see patterns, and you're not always looking for what you're doing wrong. You're looking for what you're doing right so that you can duplicate that success. That's what's really going to make your channel fly. So forgive me. First of all, get to a point where you're putting out your quality content once a week as a minimum. You're supporting other creators. That might have actually been the first thing, but between all 3 of these things, and read your analytics. You must look at them, even if it's only for a few minutes a day or a few minutes a week. You must look. You will learn all the things you need to know, and things will pop out at you like you wouldn't believe. So I wonder what your thoughts are there, Mr. Johnny.
I think I think you've hit the nail right on the head. I always say this. I've said it many times. Obviously, every journey starts with the first step. The first step to growing a channel successfully is having the why. You need to know why you're doing this, because, as I've said before, when you do hit hurdles, when you hit problems, when you hit things that, life happens and it stops you from creating, the why will be the reason that will keep you going. So you need to have that stamped down, literally write it down on a piece of paper and continually go back to the why. Why am I doing this? Why am I spending hours editing content? Why am I spending hours, researching topics or filming or cut, start again. Why am I doing that? The why is the most important thing that I would say if you want to successfully start, because you need a foundation. Secondly, don't think about or concentrate on buying expensive equipment. You don't need it. The best camera you have is the one in your hand. That's what you want to do. You want to use that and keep going. And lastly, and obviously it's the top of my head, Be consistent. If you are inconsistent, you'll lose your own motivation. And I've done a video about that as well. So I'm just self-promoting myself here today. All these videos are going, all of these things I'm mentioning are things that have come from videos I've made. But what I'm saying to you is that those are the things that you need to think about. Why? Don't worry about the content, the equipment you have. Just start filming, and obviously be consistent. You need to be consistent. And you mentioned that earlier. 1 a week is great. If you can start that, if you do 2 a week, brilliant, because obviously you're doubling your exposure. But 100% definitely follow those things. I mean, there are lots of other things, great tips to start successfully. And keeping in mind that we are all small YouTubers here. We are all still learning. Every single one of us here is learning. And we learn together. In communities like this, there will be things that will be said that I would never even have thought of, and I learn that way. So thank you so much, Mark Fraser, for that question. A statement from Hust Works. I heard a rumor that it said that YouTube is routinely removing subscriptions of spam accounts. That is 100%. It's not a rumor. It's 100% a fact.
Yeah.
A question from RNA Legacy. I noticed I lost subscribers that I know that are subscribed to us, like family members that they have had to resubscribe. Do you have any insights about that? So that's for you.
So this goes back to what we're talking about, the purge and the glitching. This is happening to everybody. If you can imagine, just a couple of weeks ago, Kristen Welton, who's in the chat, happens to be my girlfriend. We live together. We've been together for 5 years now. We woke up a couple of weekends ago and found that she was not subscribed either to me or to TuberChat. That's ridiculous. Wow. She's a moderator on TuberChat, now a member. It's unbelievable. But this is happening all the time. Today, Philly Girl, I think, was in the chat here with us. She might still be here. And today, when I pulled her channel up on the screen on TuberChat, we were not subscribed. Impossible. We've been subscribed. I've got her on my personal channel and on TuberChat for a long time now. So we see this, and even when I'm running TuberChat and we're putting channels on the screen, we see this happen all the time with people that we know we were subscribed to. Another thing to check, because we've noticed this glitch, when you first get to a person's channel and it says you're not subscribed, try just clicking on the videos page or another page and see what happens. Sometimes you'll find that it's a glitch and it will turn gray instead of red, the subscription button.
Yeah. I mean, I've even said, and I don't know how true this is, and maybe you'll be able to educate me here, but whenever I subscribe to a channel, I tend to, just by default, I usually click the notification. I just click the notification because I'd like to know when they are, when they're going to be dropping their next content. Have you experienced any drops in those accounts where you click you've clicked the subscription, but now you're clicking on the notification? Are you losing those subscribers?
Probably, and you'll have to forgive me for not being certain because I've not actually looked for that to be happening.
Okay.
When TuberChat itself started, I did not put a lot of bells on because TuberChat is subscribed to maybe 2,000 channels, 1,000 for sure, right? And at first I didn't know how I was going to handle people's notifications and the bells, right? But now I put on every creator. So if I connect with somebody outside and I've subscribed to them, when they come into TuberChat for the first time, when I put their channel on the screen, I put the bell on. If they come to TuberChat and we don't already know each other, as soon as their channel goes up, I subscribe, and the next time they're there, I put the bell on. A part of it, to be honest with everybody, is because I want to deliberately put that bell on in front of everybody. I want it to be seen, not because you need to see me do it. Nobody needs to worry about whether other people have other people's bells on, but I want you to watch me do it. I want you to see, wow, he's going to put the bell on every channel that comes on the screen. And when you come and you see channels that have been there before, like Mr. Johnny 25, for instance, the bell is on. So it's a deliberate thing, but I haven't experimented to know specifically if what you're talking about is the case.
So yes, and thank you so much for that very clear and easy to understand answer. And there's a message there from your beloved. Also think about your vision and demographic. Think about how you want to see your channel in 1 year, 5 years from now. Think of developing your brand. So that was based on, I believe, Mark Fraser's question about being successful. And I think that's very, very true. You do need to have goals. I mean, obviously, you want to have your 1, 3, 5 year goals in terms of your channel and where you see yourself, because I know that it's very easy for us to just see ourselves as small YouTubers. And I would say a year from now, most of us won't be small YouTubers. Most of us will be big YouTubers, and we'll be thinking, wow, we've learned a great deal in that year. So you definitely want to have for yourself a goals. So it's very good. So thank you so much to all of you who have walked through the door. I really do appreciate every single one of you. If you didn't know who was on the screen, we have with us Kevin Kaye, aka the brains behind Chuba Chat. If you don't know his channel, make sure you go over and check him out. He goes live Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but he varies the times to suit. Obviously, it's a really great idea. I wish I could do that, but he changes the time to suit so that he can basically maximize the amount of exposure his channel can get. So you just have to make sure that you put a reminder you do schedule all 4 shows in one go, don't you? I believe
I do. And you know what's actually remarkable? I can tell everybody this now. Tuber Chat is its own animal, and I've been a social media guy since the beginning. I've been developing websites since 1995 or earlier, so it's a long time. And forgive me, it's not that I think I know everything, but it was deliberate when I built Tuber Chat and expected it to be the way that it is. But Tuber Chat has I think it's a 30 to 50% higher than normal, higher than maximum normal number of people who, first of all, have the bells on, and secondly, have notifications enabled. We have the numbers on Tuber Chat for the people who have bells on and notifications enabled is through the roof. And if I was to guess on the number one reason why that is, it's because of varying the times. So I know that most of us YouTubers that are going to talk about YouTube and are looked at as somebody maybe with some knowledge, let's say, we would all suggest to everybody, get on a schedule, figure out when your people are there, and aim for the best times. But everything I do with Tuber Chat is very deliberate. Not that I think I'm right. I do a lot of things that I change my mind after because they were wrong. But that is one thing that I think really makes those numbers just through literally in the clouds.
Well, that's really good. I mean, I know that obviously, guys, if you want to check out when your subscribers are on the platform, you can go into your analytics and you can find there's a chart of like 7 days, and you'll be able to see when most of your subscribers are on. It's not the best, and obviously you will need to do your own research as to when you think is best, and it's trial and error. That's the thing about YouTube, and that's the beauty of being a small YouTuber. You actually have the opportunity to try things out. They don't work, hey, try something else. Hey, try something else again. You can continually evolve. You can continually change the way in which your channel is to maximize your exposure and ultimately to maximize your channel to become a successful channel. So guys, as I said, if you're just new through the door, if you could please hit the thumbs up, share me out if you would kindly do so. This is this is a show where we want to get as much exposure as possible. I'm really grateful to every single one of you who are here supporting me currently right now. If you can hit that thumbs up and share and share out the stream, we can get more people in here and we can all discuss and talk together. As always, guys, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat at Mr. Johnny 25. Don't take the 25 out of my name. The algorithm knows who I am. It's not spam. It's not spam. All I ask is that you not excessive numbers or emojis. Obviously, guys, if you want to grow your channels or experience new content, nothing is stopping you do that. I have no issues whatsoever with you going over to other people's channels. All I ask is that you do not come back here and expect or demand them to return to your channel, because then that would basically be the sub for sub, and we don't do that here. And especially right now in the situation that we're in, you don't want to be doing that, because the chances are you will wake up tomorrow morning and all of those connections will be gone. And you don't want that. You want those connections to stick. So let me see. I'm looking for a question mark and I've seen one. It says, what about when you search a channel but you can't find them, even if they send you a comment? Now, are we talking about channels that may potentially be shadow banned? Who knows? I don't know. Is that something you've come across?
Well, what I find is so the go-to channel extension now is all but done, right? The guys who made that special thing, for those of you who use Chrome on a computer, that might permanently be gone, which is fine, right? When you're searching for somebody's name, you want to make sure, first of all, you're spelling it. So if you're on a computer, you're lucky because you're able to copy and paste. But on a phone and on a computer, you can click a filters button. And what that allows you to do is to specify that you're searching for a channel. So step number 1 is to hit the filters, check for channel, and see if that helps. If it doesn't, put one set of quotes around the person's name, and then again, search by channel. And I have yet to find a channel that I couldn't find within 3 tries. So hopefully that helps. If not, then we're going to have to rely hopefully on comments or some other way. The other way is, as a last resort, you might try to figure out who that might be connected to them, and then go catch them somewhere, either in a live stream or in the comments of another video or something like that. But the first 2 steps should help.
Thank you. And hello to you, Kevin King. Welcome to the stream. I must apologize. I have a frog in my throat. Sorry about that. It's because I'm so excited that I have Kevin on the show with me today. So I'm in awe that he's here with us today. But thank you so much for being here with us, and all of you wonderful people. If you can share me out, if you can hit the thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. Heavier Lifestyle, thank you so much for sharing me out. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, what's this? I can see it says question. Also, when we get comments, we don't find them or get the notifications either. Yes, I can tell you right now that is all part of the glitch. There's been a number of changes to obviously, if you look at your front page, you can now see that there is a change. You may not have got the update yet, but what I think happened was YouTube did their update, which they do. Obviously, they want to improve on the system, and they want to improve the platform, make it look better, and make it look nicer. I believe, and obviously you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that YouTube have kind of been caught out slightly because of what's been going on in the bigger frame of things. Now, obviously, TikTok is about to be banned in the US, and TikTok has a massive following. YouTube have decided they need to get some of that market in. So obviously, if you do, less than 60-second videos and put hashtag shorts, that is whole new stream of content. So guys, if you don't know about it, go on to vidIQ's video, check out, he did a whole video on it, really, really educational. Obviously, for most of us, we've never filmed we film like that. TikTok film like that. Well, YouTube have now started a whole new genre of shorts, hashtag shorts. Do your research, 60 seconds or less. I think Mr. Beast has already created a channel. It has over 1 million subscribers.
Oh, I saw that the other day, yeah.
Who knows? This could be a new thing. But my point is that YouTube had to get that in quick to steal the market. Or not to steal the market, but basically to dominate it, which it will do. And obviously, it's done a lot of things. It's also added changes that you can now customize your front page in a much easier way than it was before. Obviously, banner sizes are still frustrating, but that's a whole new thing. But what I'm saying to you is that there are lots of changes that are going on the platform. And I just think that maybe 10 too many got put in the code somewhere, and it's just messed everything up. But obviously for small YouTubers like us, we have felt the brunt of it because there's more of us. Remember, the higher up the mountain you get, the less there is, right? We're at the very bottom, so there's more of us. So it's much easier for them to really go at us rather than messing around with the big YouTubers who could quite easily take their content to Spotify or to other organizations. They don't want to mess around with the big people because they make the money. We are the ones that are trying to do our best. And at the moment, we're not making them any money. Right now, unless obviously we copyright our videos, we're not making the platform any money. They need us to get to that stage where they can make money. So what I'm saying to you is, it could well be a glitch. It could well be that they've just messed up somewhere. Who knows? What I do know is that we are feeling the pain right now because we're trying to grow. I would have expected my numbers to have gone up. I know you definitely would have expected your numbers to have gone up. But it does feel like there's a bit of a freeze. But I don't think it's going to last forever. And I think that 6 months from now, we'll all be laughing all be laughing at this situation. So yes, thank you so much, MSK Family Vlogs, and welcome to the stream. I don't know if I must apologize if I have gone past the question. Please rewrite the question because I'm just scrolling down. I'm not as I know that trying to keep up with the chat is almost impossible whilst having a conversation with someone. But A Positive Lifestyle says, for the co-host, what's your take on the use of capitals and their implications in the chat?
So I've been very, very lucky. Thank you for the question, by the way. But Tuber Chat has been an unbelievably respectful community ever since it even started. And I have to think that that's because of the several creators who were inspirational in its creation, particularly the Hoops Family Network and several others where people were already understanding the simple rules that all hosts have in growth streams. So I haven't had any problems, right? Now, I've been in growth streams where they've been shut down, but I've been lucky that it's never happened to me, never happened to Tuber Chat. But I also, one of the things that can be a problem is when we put one of the robots like Nightbot or Botissimo or one of those things on the caps, because there's lots of creators who make their channels names all in caps. And the trouble with that is then Nightbot hammers them and it becomes a problem. And, you know, I've been in live streams where people have said like, well, you can't mention Tuber Chat because I have the word connect in my name. And that, well, you're not going to get your stream shut down because the word connect is in it. I'm almost certain. However, you know, we have to respect every host rules. I don't think that caps matter that much. But if somebody was to be speaking, not a channel name, but just be speaking in all caps in any of my live streams, I would politely ask them not to do that. Of course, in Tuber Chat, like I said, I'm very lucky that everybody's so unbelievably respectful that I haven't had any problems. So when a few things slip, like a few numbers, somebody comes in with a few emojis and, you know, a few people might mention something in caps all at once, it doesn't affect anything, because it's so helpful. The other thing too is there's a banned words list out there, and you could simply type in Google banned words list YouTube and it will come up for you. And it's just a list somebody comprised of all the most popular things we never want people to say in our chats. And you can add to that, and that really helps keep a chat clean. So you don't have to worry so much about the little things that come through. If somebody mentions all caps, they can be politely asked not to. That's just what I do. I'm not telling anybody what they should or shouldn't do, but that's how, since you asked for my take, that's how I treat that stuff. I try to always give people chances. And the other reason why is because I vowed when I started Tuber Chat that when newcomers come through, I would try to guide them into the right direction so that they could better their interaction in all growth streams and truly better the whole community. Not everybody wants to do what we do. I've had a creator come in and message me the next day with novels on the phone about how they don't like what we were doing and they don't want to do it. And I said, well, that's fine. That's okay. But for the people who I can or we can entice to say, listen, it's not just about your own channel, but if you really help other people, you will get everything you wanted out of YouTube, and more people will be supporting you. If we can lead people into that, that's why I want to give people chances wherever possible, even though it doesn't always work out.
Thank you. So that's a very great, thank you so much for that question, Positive Lifestyle. The one thing that T Lady Squad 44 and myself have in common is we have numbers at the end of our name. Now, I have been in live streams where people have said, do not drop the 44, or in my case, the 25. And I obviously, as has been clearly stated, you follow the rules of the house. But one thing that I really want to clarify is the algorithm fully understands my name. My name has been on YouTube for 14 years, and I have never had a problem whatsoever with my name being Mr. Johnny 25. And I've literally seen hosts literally lose their temper with guests because they put Mr. Johnny 25. And I think you do understand that's my name. That's like, you know, it's like saying, you know, you're taking out my name and thinking that the algorithm's going to have a go at you. It doesn't. Now, I was educated about maybe 2 months ago about what actually happened with the numbers. It was a very, very big YouTuber, massive YouTuber who had millions of subscribers, and he played a game. And the game was basically, he would say a game and you had to answer by dropping emojis. So you had to drop maybe 5 emojis or 3 emojis for whatever answer it was. Now, what happened was, this man had 3,000 people in his chat. So he had a lot of people in the chat, and 3,000 people dropped emojis. So what did the algorithm do? It shut him down. Now that sent a message out to everyone that you can't use emojis.
Yeah.
I was even sucked into that myself, and I hands up. I even said, oh my God, you can't use emojis. Well, actually you can, but it has to be in moderation. And the same goes with capital letters, and the same goes with numbers, moderation. However, as Kevin stated, if you have a chat bot like Stream Elements, like Nightbot, like Botissimo, and it sees capital letters, it could well time you out. And I fell foul of that. And I actually didn't even understand what I was doing. I was getting lots of messages saying, Johnny, you're too strict. I was like, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not even doing anything. Then in the end, I was basically told, Johnny, do you know what? Trust your moderators and trust that the people that come into your stream will do things the right way, and we can all grow together. And do you know what? From that moment on, I've not looked back. So thank you so much for sharing out the stream. If you have already, if you're new to the room, could you please hit the thumbs up for me? I really do appreciate every single one of you for doing that. It helps me to grow. It helps Chuba Chat to grow. We are a growth live stream, but we also want to learn as well. And I believe the conversations we're having here will help you on your individual YouTube journey. So guys, I'm scrolling down and I'm looking for questions. And if I don't find one, I am going to ask a secondary question of Kevin. So I'm going to ask this question and please forgive me. When I first saw your channel, I actually thought that you were in some way connected to Chuba Tools.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Was your name decision tactical, and what was the inspiration behind the name? Behind the name.
Okay, so yeah, Tuber Tools is owned by Nick Nimmin, and he's a very much well-respected member of YouTube itself. He's a monster channel, and I recommend everybody to follow them. If you're going to follow some big YouTubers, he's one of them. Him and his brother as well, and I follow them both. D Nimmin, you're right. So he happens to have a logo that matches exactly like what Tuber Chat is.
Yes.
And it's not entirely copying. Now, here's the thing. Now, I had seen that logo many times before I ever even came up with the name for Tuber Chat. But as you can see from the shirt, the logo is exactly what it should be. So for those of you who care about graphic design and logos and stuff like that, I don't know another way to get across exactly what Tuber Chat is without doing it exactly the same way. But if you look at his logo and this logo, they're identical. Of course, you're going to say it's copying. And for all argument's sake, yes, absolutely. But the name Tuber Chat itself came from the idea that in a growth stream and doing what we're doing, the truth is it really has nothing to do with me. Now, I hope that as I continue to learn and share my knowledge, and hey, I'm a nice enough guy, right? That hopefully I can bring some value to what we're doing while you're in Tuber Chat for 2.5 hours, because I got to do something. But the action goes down in the chat. That's why it's not called Tuber Host or Tuber Guy or Tuber King or any of that other stuff. It's called Tuber Chat because the chat is where all the action is. That's what matters. And I want that to be in people's heads. And not to mention, you have to think about like what domain names can you get and this and that. And anything with YouTube couldn't have been had. So there's that as a limitation as well. But if you notice, my branding is all the same, right? So there's tuberchat.com, and everywhere on social media, you'll find us all at one word, TuberChat, because it was available. So it's a combination of all of those things. But I would absolutely admit, yes, if not for outright copying, the logo itself is inspired by Nick Nimmin from Tuber Tools because, obviously that's a great logo. It's exactly what it should be.
Yeah, I did. I saw the channel and I was like, I don't understand. Has he just started a new channel? It was really, but the funny thing about it was that's part of the reason why I didn't initially go straight in, because I thought, well, I already follow him on his other live. I didn't even realize it's only when I came in I thought, I get it now. So thank you for clearing that up for me, because I must admit I did wonder what, the inspiration behind how you came into that name and the logo. There's a comment here from Crystal Renee. I've learned that when doing YouTube, you have to be open to making mistakes. That plays a big part in growing as a YouTuber. Very, very true. Would you like to make some comments on that?
Absolutely, I would. Crystal Renee, thank you so much. He happens to be a member on Tuber Chat, but thank you for that comment, because it gives me a chance to point out a couple of things. So I'll just touch on something that Mr. Johnny25 mentioned not too long ago, which when you're starting a YouTube channel and you're worried about success, don't worry about the equipment. I promise. My computer's no better than yours. My phone's, almost everybody in the chat has a better phone than I do. Mine is the original iPhone SE from 4 or 5 years ago, and I have videos now on other channels with 250,000 views that were filmed on that phone. So that's not talking about mistakes, but on my personal channel, my #1 video is a tablet review, and if you really watch, you'll see editing mistakes in that video, and there's stuff that, does it matter if you stop and clean up the video to redo it? I'm certainly not taking it down. It's my #1 performing video.
No, yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But even today, coming on this show with Mr. Johnny25, people see me make mistakes in Tuber Chat all the time when I'm first coming on and setting up. And, I've had internet problems Friday and Saturday like you wouldn't believe. But even today, coming on this show right here, as Mr. Johnny25 was bringing me onto the screen, only when I saw myself on his screen did I realize that my green screen was way out of the way here. And these are mistakes, right?
Yeah.
But does it matter? It doesn't change the dynamic of the content. And the other thing is, a lot of us are perfectionists. A lot of people in the chat are probably holding themselves back because they want their content to be too good. Now, in any other case, I would say, yes, we should always be aiming for the best we can do. But one thing I love about YouTube, and the reason I'm here, is because at some point, good enough is good enough. You don't have to worry about every single thing you do. Sean Cannell is another huge YouTuber that we should all be following. And he specifically made a video where he said, let's go back and look at my first video. You won't believe the difference in quality between his very first video and what they're doing now. And the same's going to be for all of us. I promise when you have 100 videos, you're going to forget some of the videos you made until somebody asks you.
That's very, very true. Thank you so much for that comment. So Prince876 Comedy, how to get a lot of views on your videos as a small content creator who has a comedy channel? So be funny.
with comedy in particular, not that I know what I'm talking about, because I don't know many comedians. I haven't met any at all, never even tried. And it's always a thought like, hey, wouldn't it be great to get on a stage, especially if you're a dynamic speaker, right? Any of us could try, let's just say. But I have a great respect for them, because comedians live in a world of a perfect storm of all the things that we fear. Getting on a stage in front of people you don't know, and you don't have any time. You have to make them laugh immediately and for some minutes, and hopefully not hours at a time. I have a great respect for that genre. But when it comes to a YouTube channel, I think more than anything else, you'd have to look towards all of the marketing that you see done in comedy in general. Follow the television stations, the event promoters, and things like that. See what they've done, and then fuse that with the ideas you get from YouTube in general. Because everybody can make an Instagram account and a Twitter account, and I promise you, if you promote your videos there, you will get viewers. I prove it every day with Tuber Chat. It started with nothing. It's 100% organic, and now I think we have over 200 people on Instagram. They came to Tuber Chat. I didn't go to anybody. And you could do that with anything. But because I don't know the comedy world itself, I don't have specific... you may not even be talking about comedy in the sense of stand-up comedy. You might be just talking about funny videos. I would look at other bigger channels and smaller channels of all sizes, really, and look at what they're doing and find where their success is, and then replicate that success along with what somebody like Mr. Johnny 25 is going to tell you about all the time, the fundamentals of YouTube. If you can get the fundamentals of this platform down and some fundamentals of social networks, for instance, because it's all free, we can all utilize that in some way, and then meld that in with what you see from other people who are successfully doing what you aspire to do, and especially people in the true comedy world, because that's its own animal, and I have a lot of respect for that world.
I think a few weeks ago I had Kaye Creative. I don't know if he's in the chat, but I had another amazing content creator, and he said that you rather than trying to make a trend, you follow the trend. And that was a really powerful statement, because then what it made me realize is you may not get the biggest bite of the pie, but you'll still get some of the pie.
That's
because
all
you're following the trend. Now, I'm not saying that do something a year after it happened, because the trend's already gone. I'm saying if you can follow a trend, so look in the trend section, there's a massive button, click it, find out what's going on, and if you can do or make content around those lines, obviously in your own niche, then you are definitely going to be on a winner. Guys, if you've just walked through the door, we have with us today, as you can clearly see from his t-shirt, Chuba Chat. We have Kevin Kaye of Chuba Chat in the show with us today. We are grilling him. We are testing his prowess, his acumen. We are going through his brain, trying to work out what goes on inside of his head, especially when it comes to all things YouTubery. And so if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat. Just go at Mr. Johnny 25. Don't take the number out. And I will do my very, very best to see all of those comments. If I am a million miles behind the chat, I must apologize to you. But thank you so much to all of you who are still in the building. And I'm going to quickly just say quick shout out to some of the people that I saw. Zara Gluten Free. Thank you so much for being in the building. If you are obviously here and I haven't shouted you out, thank you so much for being in here. And yes, I know that I'm way behind in the chat, but it's because we're having such a great time. I just love the conversation we're having is so good that, hey, do you know what? But if you do have any questions, please put them in the chat section, and I will try my very best to go through them. So I've got another question for you. Now, I know that obviously you have mentioned previously that you've monetized many channels in the past, and obviously your background is, in this world in terms of creation and YouTube and video production and all, and obviously web, I think it was gaming or web design of some kind, I believe. What advice would you give to a small YouTuber who? Because obviously you've got a lot of strings to your bow. What would you be saying to a new YouTuber to do the same sort of thing, or would you say, right, focus on one thing, concentrate on that, go for it? What would be your advice to a YouTuber who is literally just starting out?
So that's a fantastic question. So my particular set of skills were built over a lifetime, right? I'm well over 40 years old now, right? So I've been doing this stuff for 25 years. Let's just say with the web, I was there for MySpace and Friendster. I've been there since the beginning. But I'm a computer guy. I love that stuff, and I do enjoy social media. I know a lot of people have arguments all day whether it's good or bad, but I love it, right? So that's fine. That makes it lucky for me, and that's the reason why I landed exactly where I landed. That's why Tuber Chat is what it is. What I've seen in my own personal life is a lot of times people whose lives could be changed with an extra $20, $50, $100, or even $200 per month or more, but even less, right? It can be life-changing to people. And this is the first time in a very, very long time that I found something that it is not a network marketing company. It's not a scam. It's not anything anybody can, frown at or whatever. It's all real. We know that. And this is something that my particular set of skills accent what I do when it comes to the exact channel that I run and the other channels that I run. But what I would suggest to somebody else is to take your own life experience, look at the skills you've gained, and try to figure out, because it's not for us to decide, it's for you, although you can take as much advice as you want, right? Try to figure out where you can meld two different sets of skills that you have together. So for instance, maybe you had a paper route when you were a kid, or maybe you shoveled snow or mowed the lawn for people for $5 and stuff like that. Take what you learned from getting that done and getting those people. Think about when you have birthday parties or when you've invited people to events, what actually got them there. And the skills that you gain from either your schooling or your professional life or your house, running a household, running relationships and things like that. That's the best answer I can give you, is to take your own life experience and figure your own skill set out. Write down literally everything that you're good at, or you think you're good at, or people tell you you're good at, whether you believe it or not. And you might find some magic in there. I landed where I did because it made sense. And I can tell you without any shadow of a doubt, I decided not to quit before I started. And the reason why is because when I was a kid, when I was 11 years old, I had paper routes, and I have a great story for that. But I know what it's like to go knocking on people's doors and have them say, I don't want your stupid paper, get out of my face and never come back here again. But at 11 years old, that skill set allowed me to learn that now when I'm in Tuber Chat and somebody comes by my channel and says this sucks and you suck and everything sucks, it doesn't bother me. But I signed up for that because I know that I can. If you sign up for the things you know you can do, you might find some real magic. And that's the best advice I can give. Unless Mr. Johnny 25, maybe you have an even more clear and concise.
Well, no, I think that what I think you've hit the nail right on the head. I saw the question from Mark Frazier, and that was why I asked that question in a way, because obviously, as he has said, he's got ideas, but what to concentrate on. I think you've answered the question.
Well, if you don't mind, but I'll cut in on this as well.
Please do.
Talking about channels. So we see, forgive me, I don't want to put everybody in categories, but let's just say we have two kinds of creators. We have creators who have a niche, they know what they want to do. Like a guy owns a auto mechanic shop, and he's making videos showing you how to fix your car, right? Then we have somebody else who says, well, I'm just going to film everything I can think of, and I'm going to do family vlogs, and I'm going to, show you how to fix this and how to cook food and all kinds of stuff. There's nothing wrong with both, right? You will hear a lot of people like us talk about find your niche and follow that niche. Yes, absolutely. But if you don't know and you want to make different kinds of content, then I suggest having a personal channel like I do, and like even, my clients do or whatever. And then what you can do is film everything. Anything you can think of that's an idea that you're willing to put out there, put out there. Because first of all, if you film it, you could not use it if you don't want to. You could delete it if you change your mind. And when it's time to break into a second channel, when you have something that really flies, then you can do a concentrated niche channel. When people ask, I can show some of the channels that I manage, and you'll see how it began. The biggest channel I manage is a variety channel. The guy does everything. He cooks, he does hot sauce challenges, he fixes his car and does work and everything else. But now, a year ago, we started a dedicated work channel. That channel is meant to be the powerhouse. That's where the sponsors will come. That's where the big money is expected to roll in, even though his personal channel is still fun and doing great. So that's a suggestion for anybody who doesn't know. I love that you put this up from Thrifty Angela, because I saw it come through the chat.
When I saw that, I thought I've got to put that up, because we talked earlier about, use the camera you've got, whatever you have no idea what video is going to do well. Every time we produce a content, we send it out to the big wide world, and the algorithm will say, nah, or the algorithm will say, yes, I like it. Now, I saw a video from someone who is a regular in your show. What's her name? Shan Zen Zen, maybe?
Yeah.
She has a video, and I am not joking. This video is probably about a minute long of her brother riding a bicycle somewhere in Jamaica. And I think there's some hay in a bike. And it's got it's gone viral. This video has got thousands and thousands and thousands of views.
Yep.
And I all I kept thinking to myself was, wow. But if the algorithm and people like the content, you may look at that and think, I have no idea why anyone likes it. But hey, are you arguing that that video will probably get them monetized? No, you're not. I'm very aware I am a little bit behind, but I just wanted to put this up on the stream because I mentioned Kaye Creative earlier on because it was him that said follow the trends. But I think he heard me when I said Bebo because we're talking about old. I know that obviously you and I are similar in age. So when we experience many things, and I don't even know if Bebo still exists, but what I do know is that there's been lots of different avenues, lots of different platforms that have come and gone, but YouTube is here, and we want to do our very, very best to grow on it, which means that we need to learn, we do need to grow, and we need to do things in the right way. And things like these sort of shows are where you get an opportunity to meet lots and lots of other content creators who are in the same boat as you. Now, I know this is quite, I always laugh, and I don't mean this in a rude way, but I always laugh when you say, I consider anyone below 10,000 subscribers as a small YouTuber. And I think 10,000. Wow, that is.
You know. But tell me if I'm wrong when I say this. But does everybody in this chat expect to have 10,000 at some point? Now, I'll be very honest with you. I never, even though I started and I thought I'd be great, and there's reasons why I think I'd be good at YouTube, I don't expect to be a PewDiePie or a Mr. Beast or any of these guys, right? I don't expect that. I used to be a radio DJ, and I, have a lot of mic time and stuff like that. So I know that I can do it, but I don't expect 1 million people to follow me on any particular channel ever. But I do expect to have 100,000. I expected that before I started. Not today, maybe 20 years from now, maybe 10, maybe 5 if I'm really, really lucky. But I absolutely expect that. But I already mentioned I expect not to fail or not to quit before I even started YouTube. I know that's not the case for everybody, but I hope everybody can subscribe to that mentality afterwards. But Mr. Johnny 25, you can't tell me that you don't already see on the horizon 10,000 subscribers for you, because if I had money to bet, I would bet 100% on your channel in particular. But most of the channels in this chat, if you consistently put out at least a piece of quality content per week, read your analytics, and never quit, you will get there. You will, unless you're so much older than me that you think you can't make it. But I promise you, I expect 10,000 for every person that wants it. That's why I say what I do about 10,000 subscribers. And if the need comes afterwards, when some people start crossing the line, we'll do other things to teach people how to get from 10,000 to 100,000, because there's other fish to fry when it comes to that. But Mr. Johnny 25, let me ask you personally right now, do you not expect to have 10,000 subscribers at some point in the future?
Yes, I do. I have my own goals. I have my own plan for my channel. I believe that when I started YouTube, I didn't have a plan. I didn't understand YouTube, which is part of the reason why my channel was, I started my channel in 2006. So we're talking about a very, very old channel that I have. And my channel was about looking at funny cats videos. That's all I did. I just watched it, making funny cat videos. Even when I was working with the BBC here in the UK, I still didn't even think to myself that I could basically self-promote myself with my own channel on YouTube, because I didn't think of YouTube as the platform to do that. It was obviously the pandemic that changed everything, and it changed the whole dynamic of my YouTube journey. And obviously my wife was already doing YouTube as well, and I was watching her and watching what she was doing. And it got to the stage where one day I saw a live streamer and I said, I can do that. And I just said that was it. And from that moment on, it has just been a growth. For me, it's just been learning, growing, doing things the right way. I started out, doing bad practice, and I paid the price for it. But I do believe that I've learned that, I just basically learned the hard way. I won't say any more than that. But what I do know is that it didn't stop me. There's a comment on the screen from Black Brand Friday where they quoted you. I decided not to quit before I started. I think that's the most powerful statement that any one of us as small YouTubers can have. If you are 100% focused and you have decided that YouTube is something that you want to do, and you have a I will attitude, and your why is cemented in, it is granite, it's not going anywhere, you are 100% going to grow. Now there's a comment here from Thrifty Angela. She says, you just never know why a video is liked or why it works. Put up with what you want and don't give up. Now, as she was earlier, I put her comment on the screen earlier because she has a viral video. I don't have a single video that has more than 5,000 views. I don't, because obviously
but you will.
I hope so, and that is my.
So forgive me, I don't mean to cut you off and say no. I promise you you will. And so Thrifty Angela, I hope that I forget if we're on Instagram or something already, if I can reach out to you. I'd love to know the story of that particular video. But here's the thing. If you consistently put out content on your channel and do everything you can that you hear from people that you respect, and take all your knowledge, make the best decisions for your channel, and build it with a strong and solid foundation, what will happen, and I've seen it on every channel that I run, every channel that I touch, if you do this, luck will pick you one day. It picked me twice already, just in a small bit, but it did already. It's because you're not making videos any different any day. And I don't want to take away from those of you who have made videos that have done very well and you deliberately meant for that to happen. That's great. But I promise luck will come by every channel. It doesn't have to be luck. You can call it whatever you want, but it will come. If you dedicate yourself and you put out consistent quality content, you will have luck come by and take a couple of your videos and start to fly. And when it happens, you'll be amazed. We don't get to pick what goes viral. I'm sorry, but the crowd always decides. The biggest channel that I manage now has just over 9,000 subscribers, is making over 5,000 Canadian dollars per month in income. And the number one video on that channel is the guy fixing his refrigerator because the ice cube tray was freezing over and causing it not to make ice properly. He just fixed a problem in his house. We've done videos that are so much funnier, so much better, such better content, but that's the number one video. You don't get to pick. So forgive me, because again, I don't want to take away from anybody that's already got a video that's doing well. And 5,000 views on any video is nothing to shun at, because I promise you, Mr. Johnny 25, other than my top two videos, I think my third top video has 5,000 views on it or something like that. Tuber Chat has nothing like that because I haven't put any videos out yet. It's all live streams. Nobody's going back to watch them. But I promise you, especially for somebody like yourself who's been so consistent and puts out quality content, not to mention especially has such a devoted community that respects you so well, luck will come, even for all of us.
I have to say, I obviously I appreciate your statement, and I do. I have a different idea of the word luck because I don't believe in luck, but what I believe in is if you work hard, you will gain more opportunities. I believe that. I use the example of if you are in a raffle, the more raffle tickets you buy, the more opportunities you have to win. Right? I mean, if there's a million raffle tickets and you buy a million of them, you're going to win, right? I think the same works with your content. If you are in the right place at the right time because you're doing the right things at the right time, opportunity will open itself up to you. And I do believe that. I think that I'm in the early stages of growth because I believe that I'm still learning. I still think that I'm at the stage where I think I know enough to get by, but I need to be humble enough that I can still learn. And I think that there's a very thin line when you are speaking about things all YouTube, because I've had it, trust me, I've had people say to me, what right do you have to talk about YouTube because you're a small YouTuber? And I said, I totally agree with them. In fact, I even put a disclaimer out in my live streams where I say I'm not an expert, purely based on that comment of that one person, well, two people, that said, you're a small YouTuber, you know, when you've got more subscribers, then you've got the right to talk about something. And I thought, okay, I take that on board. But what I did realize was that a lot of YouTubers who are the same size as me, same amount of experience of me, didn't know very basic things about YouTube. They just didn't know. And I thought, well, why is it that only the big YouTubers are allowed to teach? You know, the only difference between a big YouTuber and me is they've got more subscribers than me. It doesn't mean they're more smarter than me. It just means they've got more subscribers than me. That's the only difference. And I've spoken to YouTubers who've said to me, Johnny, you know, you're a lot smarter than I am, and I've got a lot more subscribers than you, but you will one day get that. Who knows? I may well do. But guys, I know I'm waffling on. I do it a lot, so I must apologize. But thank you so much, Thrifty Angela, for that wonderful and great statement. And now there's a question here from It's Fifi 777. What exactly does a channel manager do? So obviously, I know that you are a channel manager. Could you please? It's not a crazy question whatsoever.
No, it's a great question, and thank you. So the term channel manager means something different on YouTube itself than when I say it. I say it all the time because it's the best term I can come up with for what I do. On the channels that I manage, I do everything except the live streaming. So like the owner of the channel will do their own live streams, right? Sometimes I'm even there with them, for instance, depending on the channel. But I decide. So I produce the videos, I put them up, I do all the YouTube algorithms, I do all the graphic design, I do all the promotion, I do like everything to do with those channels. The only thing that the owner of the channel would have to do is maybe they have ideas for videos, as well as my ideas for videos. And then it's not really, it never becomes a war over should we do something one way? No, we have to do it the other way. That never really happens. What I mean when I talk about managing channels is I literally run channels for other people, and I get paid a very reasonable, maybe even at times unreasonable amount of money to do that. So here's a for instance, right? If for everybody in this chat, everybody here has probably produced at least one video. Everybody here has probably registered a channel. You can get paid for that. I was a channel manager with the first video that I ever put on YouTube. It wasn't mine. If you go back and were to look and check me out to make sure everything I'm saying is right, you'll find that I started other people's channels more than 4 years ago and didn't start working on my own seriously until less than a year ago from now. So what can happen? If you know how to produce videos and you like it, you can get paid for that. If you know how to design thumbnails and you like it, you can get paid for that. And if you know how to do social media and you like it, you can get paid for that. So now the channels that I manage, some of them are making some serious money, which is great. It's, it's fun and all that. But when I had started all of this stuff, I used to describe to people, you know who makes all the money on YouTube? I do, because I do all the work. YouTube is my life almost all the time. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I have to be out doing manual labor. And here's the other thing, because I am not trying to do YouTube so that I don't have to work anymore. I'm working so that I can afford the time to do this stuff. And I know there's a lot of people who are frustrated and they want to do YouTube and they want to get AdSense money and they want to get Amazon affiliate stuff and everything else. But there's more money in it if you want to. You can go to either websites like Fiverr, or you can just go to friends and family. If you are great at doing thumbnails and your friend doesn't like doing it, you can do it for them and you can make a few bucks doing it. And as you build a reputation, you get more and more and more. So forgive me, I know I'm elaborating like way too much.
No, not at all. I'm grateful to it. Thank you. Please
when
continue.
I say channel manager, it's because I run those channels. I do everything there is to do with those channels. But YouTube has a different term. You could be a manager of a channel where it's a title and they give you permission to go into their back end and you could do some tweaking and stuff like that. But some people need help with that. I've done that for a couple people where they're just like, Kevin, my AdSense doesn't work. Can you go in and fix it? Or, I don't know what's going on with these couple of videos. Can you go and look? They give you permission, you go in, you do what you need to do. That's also a channel manager. But it's whatever you want it to be. But you can do that, or you can do what I do. If you run your own channel, there's no reason you can't run other people's channels, and you can make a full-time income. Most of my full-time income is from YouTube, not my own channels. It's other people's channels. Most of you,
right.
For those of you who know me, you know I just got monetized. I can't possibly be making anything yet, but I've been making money all this time for the last 4 years because I've been doing it for other people. And forgive me, but that's based on my reputation of also doing app development, websites, social media, and other things. But you can do it. So if you're one of these people who's looking for even more money than we're talking about with AdSense and stuff, there's no reason why you can't share your talent and get paid well for that.
No, very true. I mean, I've had people on, this is the funniest thing, and I've had people on my show say, would you look at my channel, please, and check it out? And I've said to him, I wouldn't feel comfortable because I don't feel that I have earned the right to be critiquing your content. But then what's been coming back to me is, well, your channel looks really good and you're doing the right things. So yeah, you know what you're doing. And I think, well, okay. But I always open my live streams by saying we want to gain our master's degree in YouTubery. Now, I know that it's comical, but actually this is a very, very difficult, this can be a very difficult platform for some people. Not for all. Some people may struggle to understand analytics. For whatever reason, they may not be able to read the data and understand it. And they may well need someone to work it out for them. It could just well be laziness. You know, they think, I want to make the videos, but I don't want to do any of the thumbnails, the hashtags, the descriptions. I don't want to do all of the research. I don't want to be going onto YouTube and plugging it, onto Facebook or, Twitter or to Instagram. I don't want to be doing any of that. I want someone else to do that for me. And if there's a position, obviously, if there's a position where you could earn money, then guys, you have just been told you could become a channel manager. Do you fit the bill? Could you do this and look after someone else's channel? Well, I think what you need to do is make sure you look after your own first. Make sure your channel is tip top tidy, doing all the things that you're meant to be doing. And then, yeah, guess what? Go for it. Now, guys, I've seen lots and lots and lots of comments in the stream. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so, so much. I know that JCCT has been losing. He said, every single day I've been losing my gain subscribers. Yes, we talked about this earlier in the show, so I can only apologize if you didn't see or were not here when we were talking about it. Obviously, there has been a purge, a channel subscriber audit, as I've heard it called. Yes, there has been a glitch. There have been some issues around our numbers being frozen, some losing subscribers, people that we were linked to, family members that we were connected to, we're losing. There has been lots of things going on. It's not going to last forever. To be honest with you, YouTube must be embarrassed by it because obviously they are the biggest platform. They don't want this. They must be embarrassed by this. People are losing money, and obviously people are not happy with the service. Unfortunately, there is no other platform that can touch it. So it's you kind of have to suck it and see, but keep going. Guys, thank you so much for all of you who are in the stream. Also, if you could please hit the thumbs up for me, share me out. Guys, this stream has been going on for quite a while. We do a 2-hour show here. So we've got just over half an hour. So if you've got any questions for Kevin Kaye of Chuba Chat, please put them in the chat. Just put at Mr. Johnny 25 and I will do my very best to try and read them and keep up. And I've seen a comment from Thrifty. So if you don't know Thrifty Angela, please check out her channel. She has said that she did a review of a gel mattress, got 48,000 views. So it tells you guys, you don't have to make the most amazing video that you can do. I tell you one thing though, if you buy something that's fresh out on the market and you can do an unboxing, that will get you a lot of views because obviously you're talking about something that is new, it's fresh, people don't know what it looks like. All those big channels that do mobile phone reviews, why do you think they get so many reviews? It's because it's a new phone or a new gadget or a new gizmo or whatever it is, and they get first dibs at chat, talking about it, unboxing it, and then later on they do a video whether they think it's good or not. But what I'm saying to you is, if you can do that, guys, that would be great. You'll be able to really get on it if that's your niche. Obviously, if that's not your niche, there's no point in doing it. But as always, guys, if you could share me out and obviously hit the thumbs up, I would really, really appreciate that. So thank you so much. And obviously, my next question, because I'm looking for questions in the chat. I think I'm a little bit behind because I can see that Grethel. Hello to you. Grethel loves to share. Thank you so much. Another amazing content creator who is growing and doing really, really well, guys. Does a growth stream. Really, really good stream. I think it's pretty much every day, I believe, is on. And I would imagine you'll be on about 10 o'clock maybe, or my time. Obviously, it's a bit later. From Norway, so from Europe. And obviously go and check her out. Combined luck and hard work seldom happens, but putting hard work often gives you better results. So yes, I agree. I do think that you do need to put in the work. You need to be there to receive those blessings. Yes, I do believe that. So my question to you, my next question is, every channel has a target, a mission statement, if you will. What is the main goal of your channel? So what is Chuba Chat trying to achieve?
So Chuba Chat is very razor sharp focused. We're focused on people who are beginning their YouTube channels, and I consider beginning anywhere up to 10,000 subscribers. And the reason why I keep harping on this number 10,000, if you get a channel to 10,000 subscribers, not depending necessarily, like no matter how bad you are at it, but truthfully, once it hits 10,000, it will just keep growing. You can just put out a video every week and you really can't stop it no matter what you do. That's what I believe from what I've seen so far. But Chuba Chat is meant to be an engine so that we, meaning me, my friends, my family, anybody I care about, can make more channels and build businesses even faster. That's what it's for. And we're seeing it start now. We have Kid Wonder's Life of Wonder comes in with a second channel now, Kid Wonder's Gaming and Live Stream. Kristen Welton is now focused on the channel for the nonprofit agency, which she runs. That's her full-time gig, is running a nonprofit agency that helps people who are living with and affected by epilepsy. She's working on that channel now. Now, my personal channel took about 7-8 months to get monetized from the time I started taking it seriously. January 1st of this year, I think I had 170 something subscribers. And by March 12th, I had my 1,000. And I just got monetized, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, right? About 3 months to the day, something like that. So Kristen was able to get her channel started and moving and monetized in 3 months. But we know, we all have seen a couple of these younger creators who've been able to get their channel monetized in a month and a half. And that's my goal. That's what I want, is to help newcomers to the YouTube platform to really be able to maximize their growth and speed. But then, so like I said, so that we, meaning me, my friends, family, and everybody that I care about, which very much is revolving around the community at Chuba Chat, can have an even easier time and move even faster. Because, not that I want to scare everybody, but we did see the change. Mr. Johnny and I were talking about it offline earlier, where this stuff that we talk about, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time, didn't exist 2 years ago. So Chuba Chat couldn't have existed 3 years ago. There was no need, right? Now it's something. And if they make that change again, we need to be on the right side of that, because when they made that change, they demonetized a lot of channels. They said on average, most of the channels they got rid of were making less than $100 a year. But still, you can see very clearly they are not afraid to cut it off. Now, I don't think they're going to, not for a long time, because making big change like that causes uproar and shifts in the entire dynamic of the platform. But it worked out for them this time. If they do it again, we need to move quickly. We need to be strong, solid, and that's what Chuba Chat is built for, to help anybody who could use a few extra dollars a month, whether it's 20 or 200 or 2,000, to get there. And you don't have to give me any money. It's all free. Yes, now we have super chats and memberships and all that stuff, but AdSense is there. So big companies like the car companies and the alcohol companies and the t-shirt companies and everybody else are going to pay for you to learn as much as you want and to do all the work you want inside growth streams like what Mr. Johnny 25 does here, what TuberChat does, and this and that. It's built so that everybody can move that much faster. I would love for everybody to get what they want out of YouTube. And the reason why is because when you get on the way towards your 10,000 subscribers, and I hope even more if that's what you want, people are going to ask you how you did it. How are you becoming so successful? And my hope is that you will turn around and say, you need to follow TuberChat. That's a channel that helped me. They will help you. And then I will continue to grow. That's all I need from anybody. You know,
very, very true.
So that's the purpose behind it all.
Okay, well, thank you. That's wow. What do you know? The beauty of having someone who can answer a question and elaborate is fantastic for a live stream. It's amazing for a live stream. So, a positive lifestyle. Is there a difference between a channel manager and a social media manager specializing in YT?
No, that's exactly what I do. So again, the term was coined by myself. Like I say that I'm a channel manager because it's the best way to describe what I do. When you're trying to describe to people and not get into a long speech, then by saying I'm a channel manager, they can pretty much figure out what that means. But essentially, yes, it is a social media manager specializing in YouTube.
Right, okay. Big shout out to the Murphy family who has said hello to us. So thank you so much for being in the building. I know that you are under the weather, so I hope that your ailment is better and I hope that you are on the mend. But thank you so much for being in here today. So I think we've got a new recruit. The Tyler Show, welcome to the stream, has said, sounds like a job that I may want to look into. He's a young, I don't know if you know him. He's a young boy. And he does a lot of talks around the ship industry. So obviously in Florida and that sort of way. But his editing is next level. I mean, it's so good for such a young lad. Really, really good channel. So if you want to know about what's going on in Bermuda in the the world of big ships, he told me off on my live. I called it a boat. He said, "It is no boat. It is a ship. Boats are something else." And I was like, I'm being told.
You know what's funny about that? Forgive me for cutting in. So a long time ago in 1996, I was a DJ at the time, and I worked on a cruise ship that went from New York to Bermuda for one summer. Yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Small world, right?
Even part of my research did not come up with that.
No.
Right, so I think there's a question here. I'm sorry if I have missed some of the questions. I must apologize. But one from Coach Sherry. Is there a capacity for how many channels you can manage?
So Coach Sherry, yeah, this is the best part. So I know some of you will be inspired by the idea that I'm talking about. Hey, maybe you can do what I do. And you can. Absolutely. Half of you could do it better than I can. Maybe more, right? But it comes down to time. So here's what happens. 4 years ago, if somebody had asked me, hey, can you help me? Can you help manage my channel and this and that? I might have said, yeah, let me see what I could do. As a matter of fact, for a couple of people, I even helped them for free, made like an entire first video to try to entice them. Come on YouTube. It's going to be great. You could do it. I'll help you. And I did it all for free and they didn't want to do it, right? But the price goes up. So now if somebody was to say to me, well, is it possible that you can manage my channel? You know, can we talk about that seriously? I have to say we can't even start the conversation at less than $1,000 a month because I don't have the time. So that's the great thing. Now, keep in mind, I do work another job. I do construction. For those of you who are going to be amazed by me saying that, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I go and I rip concrete and asphalt out of the ground with my bare hands.
Wow.
I have gloves, but you know what I mean. I do what I consider real work, and I hate it, and I don't want to do it. It's not that I hate my job and all that stuff. It's just I don't want to have to do that. I'd love if I could just do this all day. But that's what allows me the time to build TuberChat, the time to build my own channel, the time to do the other things. Now the other channels have moved up, and I've gained more and more that it's kind of a split. So I'm doing just fine, let's say. You can do the same thing, but the price goes up with every client that you get. You might be willing to say to somebody, hey, I'll make a video for you for 20 bucks or 50 bucks or 100 bucks. It's even for 1,000. It's up to you to decide what it's worth, right? Mm-hmm. But if you get 5, you're going to find yourself running out of time. And then you're going to have to say, listen, I can't do it for less than more money. Gary V would give a much better explanation about how that works with his company. He said, yeah, 10 years ago, you could have hired me, but now you don't get to talk to me. You can still pay me $1 million a year, but you're going to talk to people that I pay, and they're going to talk to you for me.
Wow.
My time is too valuable. Now, forgive me, because I don't want to make a comparison there. I'm just saying he does a great job of explaining how that works. But it really, when you talk about is there a capacity for how many channels you manage, it just comes down to time. Whatever your workload is, whatever you're willing to do, if you can cut out a TV show a week and spend an hour or 2 doing a channel for somebody else, that might be enough time to make a video and promote it, depending on the quality of the video and the time it takes for you to get that done. But forgive me for elaborating so much, but that's a thought, right? Your time gets crunched the more you grow.
Very, very true. I must apologize to Ninsky and Ellie around the world. They said they had a question, and I have scrolled up and I could not for the life of me see the question. And I must apologize. Would you please kindly cut and paste it and put it back in the chat so that I can ask, because I can't find it, and I must apologize. But I didn't want you to think I'm ignoring you, because I'm not ignoring you. I cannot find your question. So please accept my apologies and just repeat the question further down in the chat, and I will try my best to find it and catch up with it. Bright Eyes TV, thank you so much for coming into the building. Welcome to everyone who is here. If you are new to the stream, would you kindly please hit the thumbs up and share out this stream for me? I really do appreciate that. And if you have any questions, I will try my best to read them out as best as I can. If I see it, I am slightly behind on the stream. I'm very aware that I'm never up to date with the stream, because our questions are, we talk, this discussion, when you're a slave, as it were, to the chat, you can focus a lot more on the conversation. But when you are having a conversation with someone, it is a little bit more difficult. I probably need to employ someone as someone to read out and say, Johnny, ask that question now.
So
that'll probably help.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Do you mind if I cut in and just mention, because there's another couple of questions just
yes,
about
please
that.
do. Please do.
So we can move on from the topic, right?
Yes.
But as far as do I market my services being a producer? No, I'm lucky enough now, just because I'm old enough. It's people that I know, so it's word of mouth, people who I've already got a reputation with. But there's no reason why anybody couldn't reach out to people that they don't know. That's why community on YouTube is so important, because you're making friends. That's what I push all the time. And then Coach Sherry asked, as a channel manager, do you have a laundry list of your fees, or do you charge case by case? It's absolutely just case by case, because if I can't take something on, I turn down a lot of work right now because I truly don't have the time. So it's not even about money. It's not like, okay, you could pay me $10,000 to do this thing. I couldn't do it anyway. Not without throwing a wrench into the system. So that's just a thought. And if you don't mind, PA just asked another question.
Please do. Yeah.
I just want to grab it. So it's just about silent live streams, and I found it. So what do you think about silent live streams? Do you think that they insult those creators who take the time and effort to create meaningful content and engaging content? It's funny, I've seen that mentioned a couple of times before. I'd love to know what you think, but I will go ahead and answer first and just say, I personally don't think so. It's up to everybody else how they feel about it, right? In particular, I can't decide whether anybody's going to be insulted or not. Now, I don't recommend people do live streams, but silent live streams, but I understand why they do them. I haven't ever done one, and I never am going to recommend anybody to do any. But like I said, I understand why people do them. But it's a different animal. When somebody does a live stream, I don't bet that in 99% of cases they're actually trying to make content. I think they're just trying to pump their hours, and they don't expect that anybody's going to be thinking that they were trying to do something useful when they're not, or anything like that. So I hope that answers the question from myself. But Mr. Johnny 25, what do you think about silent live streams? Because it comes up in Tuber chat almost every day.
I'm a great believer that content has to have value. I believe that anything that you produce on this platform must have some kind of tangible value that you're giving to the viewer. So if you are going to produce a live stream, I believe that if I am going to expect you to spend time in my live stream, then you are, in a sense, expecting something back from me. Now, whether that be me speak for the first, for the whole 2 hours, or whether I get to add a guest, or whether we talk about a subject, there should always be something that you are gaining from it, because I'm getting something from you. If you stay in my live stream with me, I'm getting hours. Obviously, if I'm on the road to 4K, I'm getting something from you. I expect that you would, I would personally believe that you would want something back from me. I believe a silent live stream is a way of basically accumulating hours. But what people don't realize is you need people in that live stream to get hours. So if you can get 50 people all grinding with each other and gaining new subscribers within your live stream, then hey, you're ticking the box. Great. You've got a big enough platform and you're popular enough. And I've seen it. I have actually seen silent streams that have had 30, 40, 50 people in it. It's ticking the box. It's actually doing everything that you need it to do. You're not there, but you've opened up a live stream and people have gone in there and they have connected with each other. Great. But unfortunately, not everyone is as fortunate as that live stream. And I find that lots of silent streams have got maybe 1s and 2s, and I kind of think, is it worth it? And more importantly, I don't imagine that the YouTube officials are thinking to themselves, yeah, this is great. Don't get me wrong. YouTube absolutely love people on the platform. They do. YouTube is all about staying in the platform. The longer you are in YouTube is the less time you can be on Netflix. It's less time that you can be on Amazon Prime. It's less that you could be watching terrestrial TV. YouTube love you being in their platform. But when it comes to getting hours, that's where I believe YouTube officials will say, no, I don't agree with that. And I believe that they'll eventually turn on the silent streams. But what they have done, because obviously the hours that you see when you publish your video compared to the hours you get once you look at your analytics are vastly different, especially if a human reviewer checks out your content afterwards. And that is I have spoken to countless live streamers who say, I got 30 hours in my live stream, but by the time it went up, I only got like 10. It's because a human reviewer has gone, yeah, we're not going to let you have that. We're not going to let you, abuse the system. Now, obviously, this is my own personal opinion, and I say it all the time. I'm not an expert. I don't know exactly what YouTube want, but what I do know is that there is no value in the silent stream other than the sub for sub. And keeping in mind that sub for sub breaches the YouTube terms of service,
absolutely,
then we are already on sticky ground. If you're doing something within that live stream, even if, and I know it sounds funny, but even if you stood in front of the screen and blinked, you are giving something to the viewer, because there are people that will watch you. There is a famous TikToker, I believe, TikTok, I don't know what the correct term is. She says nothing. All she does is she nods her head to the beat of music. She has millions of subscribers, and she's making a lot of money. What value is she giving? She is entertaining her viewers. Therefore, it works. But if you are just going to be not there, you've gone to bed, you wake up in the morning and you looked at your hours, don't expect to keep them. And keeping in mind that when it comes to monetization, that's where the major issues come, because obviously you'll tick the boxes for, you'll get your hours, you do your hours and you get your subscribers. Then obviously you'll get your AdSense account. But then the third part is the human reviewer, and you've got to get past them. And they are going to go through their tick box and say, is this channel fit for purpose, or has this channel been doing things that breach the YouTube terms of service? Now, obviously, guys, you know me. On my channel, you know that I do spend a lot of time waffling on. I do talk too much, and I shouldn't be, because keeping in mind that I'm trying to be interviewing the amazing Kevin from Chuba Chat. and I want to keep going. So if I can find any more amazing questions, please put them in the chat, and I can only apologize if I went on too long. Right, okay, so let me see, what does this one say? There's lots of thank you so much, guys, for being here. I really do appreciate every single one of you who are in the stream, and I really do hope that you are learning, that you're also experiencing new content from other content creators here, because obviously we're not sub to sub, but I do want you to go over and check out other people's content if you have not already. I think is this a question here? I think what do you mean? What do you mean? Do video for them? Mr. Jones, so they do not have a hand in what's on their channel. So I think what he's saying is they make their content, and then from that point on, a manager takes over and does all of the work, basically. Is that a case?
In my specific case, I film the videos and produce them. So, for instance, wow. Yeah. So if like when I'm with like one of my clients, I'm with them all the time, right? I work with them on the days I'm not working, this and that. When we're doing a video, he might say like, hey, I bought a new security camera for the house. I'm going to put it up. Let's do that as a video, right? He may say that. Or I might say, hey, I have an idea for you. Let's do this video. But I film the video and produce the video. So absolutely, they do have that much of a hand in it. But really, for the most part, not always, but for the most part, that's it. I film. Wow. And I don't necessarily sit there like a director and say, like, say this, say that, don't say this, don't say that. I do give opinions. I say, but it is your channel. It's your reputation. So within reason, none of us ever do anything like, you know, wrong or like negative. We never say anything negative anyway. So it's not like there's things that we would have to argue over can or can't be done within a video. But that really is the extent of the involvement that most times creators will have, because that's what they're hiring me for, is not only the video production, which they don't have time for, right? And then the analytics and the background stuff that we have to do, posting our videos and the social media promotion and stuff. It's not that people can't do it. Yes, if somebody didn't have anything to do in their life all day, of course they could do it. Why wouldn't you do it yourself? Why would you pay me to do it? But if you don't have that time, like for instance, we're talking people who run other businesses. Actually, matter of fact, I think it's everybody that runs another business. So they don't have time. They'd rather pay to have it done first and say, okay, but I want the money that comes in later to far exceed the money that I pay. That's investment. Instead of investing in a stock, they're investing in their own project, let's say. And it's with YouTube, it's all but guaranteed. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's a risky investment in most cases. But that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Okay, so Ninsky and Ellie around the world, I can only apologize. I've seen your question now. When you start from scratch and you are a small channel and nobody knows you, how to work out, to make your channel grow organically and YouTube to recommend your channel and grow. So how do you do it if you're starting literally from scratch? So
first thing is, you want to get to a place where you're producing one piece of quality content per week. It's not up to me or Mr. Giant 25 or anybody else to decide what quality is. It's up to you. So let's just say we're talking a video. Now, let's say 8 minutes long, right? Because of the rule with the mid-roll ads and all this. Let's just say, get to that point as soon as you can. Put everything that you can into every piece of content that you put out. That doesn't mean it has to be spectacular. It doesn't mean it has to go over and above. What it means is everything you can. However much time you can afford for each video, you put that much time in. However much effort, as good as you can make the thumbnail within reason, you do that. If you have all the time in the world and you can make every single video spectacular, then by all means, spend 40 hours on a video. But if you have to punch them out in one take, 3 minutes at a time, then that's what you do. But if you consistently put out that one piece of quality every single week and get into the back end of YouTube, you must fill out your tags as full as you can get them. And you could just use Instinct to start. There's lots of tools out there. You don't have to use TubeBuddy. That's what I use, but you can use Rapid Tags and other free tools. Google has its own free way of getting tags for you. Fill those tags out, make a long description, get as many keywords into that description as you can. Really think about your title, not just, I think it was the first video on YouTube was called Me at the Zoo, right?
At the Zoo, yes, it was, yeah.
And I only learned that the other day. I didn't even know that before. Now, you don't want to be making a video that says me at the zoo. You want something more specific, like the title of that zoo, maybe some of the popular animals, especially if something is trending. Like, for instance, right around the time a Black Panther movie is going to come out, you might want to do something about a Black Panther if it's appropriate. But so you want to fill out, learn as much as you can from people like Mr. Johnny 25 that are going to teach you about the fundamentals of YouTube, and then put into practice all of those things. If you're just starting from scratch, that's the thing. If you don't know what you're going to film everything, because you can always not use it. You can start 100 channels if you want. You can always delete it if you change your mind later. But get to that point, a consistent piece of quality content at least once a week. I know many creators will say twice a week, 3 times a week, that's fine. But in my personal experience, as long as you have something every week, it will grow. It will. And you still have to do the other thing. Get your social media accounts in order. Be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get on Reddit if you're not there. If you want to use Snapchat and TikTok, maybe you can find ways to use that too. Especially whatever you're comfortable with. Start in your comfort zone and you can expand later. But you must at least get the consistency down. That's the biggest thing. Consistent, and you've got to get to that level and then try not to stop, and it will grow anyway. Everything you do beyond that is making it faster.
Very, very, what a fantastic and brilliant and well concise answer. Thank you so much for that. I 100% agree with pretty much everything you said. Then I'm like, yep. The only thing I would add to that is relationships. Your channel is all about relationships.
Well put, yes.
Whether you have a bazillion subscribers or one, you need to create relationships, and the only way to do that is to be visible in other channels. Go to other live streams, go to other videos, leave comments in people in your niche. Who knows? Someone may pin your comment. They pin your comment, then someone will go, who's that? They may check you out. I'm saying to you that you need to be very visible. If you're invisible because you're new and fresh, then you need to make yourself as visible as possible.
And if if I can add to that, I just want to say, when you're out visiting other channels, we know that you want to be seen and you want to be promoted and you want to build your own brand. That's why you're there. That's okay. But you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You have to learn, if you don't already, and forgive me for the way I'm going to put this, but you must care about other creators and truly want to support and help them. Because leaving comments without truth behind them is not quite the same as an emotional connection you'll make to those creators. So Mr. Johnny 25 pointed out a very, very important thing, and I don't know why I don't mention this more, but it's well put. Yes, the relationships are, and supporting other creators more so than you wish to be supported is a real key. So thank you for that.
So I'm very conscious of the time. We've got 10 minutes left of this amazing show. The Murphy family, what advice would you give to those people discouraged after losing and feeling defeated by the purge? Now, very, very quickly, can I just self promote? Watch my video on discouragement. I did a video on discouragement, guys. Please check that out. So definitely watch that. But over to you, please. Would you answer that question?
This is one of the reasons why community and relationships, like Mr. Johnny 25 is mentioning, is so important, because you will naturally have people come and lift you up. So it's so unfortunate, because I can only imagine what's going through some people's minds when these purges and glitches are happening. One of the groups that I feel for wholeheartedly is the group that is like almost monetized. You have 975 subscribers and YouTube is playing games with you right now and you can't hit the 1,000. I can only imagine how that just must, like, rip your heart out day by day. But here's the thing. It's easy for me because, like I said earlier in the stream, I decided not to quit before I started. And that's the truth. But here's the thing. Where if you're going to be here, you got to do what it takes anyway. We don't get to choose. I'm assuming that everybody here is here for the long term. Mr. Johnny 25 has been here for 14 years. I've only been here for 4. And I haven't even been working on my own stuff except for the last 1 year. So you might as well call it a year. But I'm expecting to be here until the end. I'm expecting only if YouTube changes so drastically that my stuff doesn't work anymore, then I'll move to the next thing like I always would be expected. But if this is going to be the thing, I expect to be here for 20 years. And I hope everybody else does. We're going to see worse than we've seen already. You think you have problems now. Wait until you have 100,000 subscribers, and I can't even describe the problems that are coming around. You'll be able to weather them in a different way. But we have no choice but to keep chugging along. If anybody in this chat feels discouraged or finds anybody that feels discouraged, please send them to Mr. Johnny 25, to myself, or to the huge number of other generous creators who are dedicating their time and lives basically to this cause. People like my friend Vern's Junk Closet, the Crockett Way is very supportive, Cubs Den. There's a myriad of channels that people can go and talk to those creators. Anybody that you think will have inspiration. This is, again, it all circles back to community. It all circles back to the relationships that Mr. Johnny 25 was just talking about. Please get anybody that's discouraged in front of somebody who's in a good place that you know will be able to motivate, and get them connected, get that like friendship started so that people can truly feel cared about outside of their own world and their own home and their own channel. When people start to realize that other people really do at least care, if not rely on them, that might be the motivation that they need to keep going and not be discouraged or, God forbid, want to quit and things like that.
Yeah. So, guys, we have only 6 more minutes left. I'm going to have to say 30 seconds or less. The Shafet, thank you so much for being in the building. I really do. I hope you're still here. They're a great channel. So if you don't know them, definitely check out the angles of their filming when they do tutorials are absolutely amazing. But do you guys think YouTube will revise the monetization criteria in the near future, considering the number of new YouTubers flooding into YouTube's platform in the lockdown? Now, can I just quickly say one thing, and then I'm going to leave it over to you. I believe that YouTube will always evolve the platform, and it will always change things, but it won't do anything that will jeopardize market share. It will not do anything, because Facebook wasn't around, when YouTube started. Facebook wasn't there in its entirety. Facebook is now offering the same thing that YouTube offers. And if YouTube does anything that potentially damages the market share, where will we go? We will just take our content and move. We'll go to other platforms to do our work. So YouTube is very, very conscious of that. And I know the business-minded people on YouTube, all they're focused on is market share, and we dominate the market. We want to keep it. So they will probably do things differently, but I don't know if they'll necessarily revise it. But I'm not, I don't work for YouTube. Maybe that is something they will have in the time. I do think that there are a lot more YouTubers like me who are, and obviously like Kevin, who are on the platform talking to other YouTubers who've been only on YouTube for the last 6 months. So there is a lot more people on YouTube now, and YouTube can play about with us because they know, well, you've gone, we've still got millions upon millions of people. The Indian market alone, remember T-Series is now the biggest, channel on, and it's from India. So India right now that's the market. So it does not care if our small little channels were to disappear because it has India in its pocket. So
what I think about that particularly is I don't think they're going to do anything about it soon. But more than ever, when I say that, I could be wrong. We are not in a race against each other. I know it's hard to watch people get monetized and have the things you want before you get them when you feel like you're working harder, but we are in a race against the clock. Please get your channel strong, solid, and moving as fast as you can, so that when YouTube does come around and change the criteria, you're so far beyond and you know how to do it again.
That's very, very true. So be ahead, guys. Keep going. This is almost like the time where you can do a lot of things. You can really grow, you can really focus, learn, educate yourself, do all of those things, because obviously if YouTube were to change their mind, you won't be one of those that get swept up. Kevin mentioned earlier that when they changed the rules on the monetization, they wiped out a big chunk of content creators overnight. On the 1st of January, at the beginning of this year, when all the new rules came in for COPA, it wiped out a lot of family channels overnight. There's lots of things that YouTube will do, and obviously lots of monetized channels could no longer make money off of the videos because it was made for kids. They just did that overnight. So, we're not talking. YouTube will do things if they see fit, and obviously to comply with the law. So, guys, we have got 3 minutes left. Thank you to every single one of you who have been in this stream. I really do hope that you have really just enjoyed a great live stream. And Kevin, I would love to have you again on the show where we can talk and discuss all things YouTubery, because you're an absolutely excellent co-host. So thank you so much for being with us today. I would like it if you would leave some parting words to the guests, please.
So here's an idea. So thank you for your kind words, and thank you for everybody who said all the kind things that are coming through the chat.
Amazing.
So here's an idea for you as well. Today I'm on Mr. Johnny 25's panel, and some of you have seen me other times interviewed by other people. Not very often. I plan to actually pick that up. However, here's an idea when we talk about supporting other creators. If you can learn to be the perfect guest, and I'm not saying I'm the perfect guest, I'm just saying that's what you aspire for. You will find other creators, if that's what you want, asking you to come around to their channels and doing exactly what we're doing here. These collaborations are going to be spectacular, because just imagine for one moment how many subscribers, Instagram followers, and who knows what else I'm going to get from this particular interview on TuberChat and my own personal channel. I want the same for you if that's what you want. Now, hopefully, I've brought as much value to Mr. Johnny 25 with the promotion done over the weekend, so that maybe he can gain from me. And Mr. Johnny 25's channel will be featured next weekend on TuberChat as well. So that's another chance, at least, to reiterate. But this is what I'm talking about. So collaborations, and Mr. Johnny 25 has done a much better job than I have today. But collaborations of any kind, particularly supporting other creators, is the key. If you want to know particularly how I've done what I've done, it's because I do more for others than I expect to be done for myself, knowing that I am going to get more out of everything than I wanted in the first place. And I see it every day in YouTube with TuberChat and my other channels and everywhere else. So thank you for that.
Wow. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, guys. As always, I am really appreciative of every single one of you. We have a mission on this show and on TuberChat and on many other chats out there. We want us all as a community to grow. And if we can do that together, we can achieve whatever we want. Guys, thank you so much to every single one of you. I really do. I've received a virtual hug. In fact, you got one as well from from It's Fifi777. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. My next show, so obviously I'm here in the UK. My next show is on Wednesday evening, where I have another guest in the guise of Michael, which I called him the other day, Michael Farah Jr. Now, if you don't know him, he is a guru with all things YouTube, OBS, StreamYard, all of the things that you need to do to really up your game and improve on your content. So if you are able to hang out with us again, it's 8 p.m. GMT, so UK time, 8 p.m. So I don't know what time it is where you are in the world, but if you check me out on Wednesday evening, it's going to be an absolutely awesome show. So thank you so much. And your next live stream will be when, Kevin, when are you next on?
Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. I always set them in advance for the whole weekend so that everybody can get reminded if they want to.
Okay, guys. So thank you very much, wonderful people. Take care, and we will see you on Wednesday evening, morning, or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Take care. Thanks very much.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.